Holy moly, I think it's working. Yay, found my keyboard. So I can monitor the stream from my desk. Or from my work table. Boop. Another news, I totally forgot I had a meeting in like 10 minutes. Hopefully it won't take too long though. Oh my god, fuck off. Ayo! It's Risky! How goes it, buddy? Don't mind me, just adjusting the camera mid-screen. Do-do-do. Scree! Hello, brother! Like literal brother. Not just an appellation. The realty brother. There. It's gonna be as good as it gets. I'm happy to see you both in the stream. What are we doing today? We're doing all the things. Well, no, not all the things. I don't have energy for all the things. This is some scrap paper from class, because it's a really nice drawing paper, and we gotta keep that shit. Alright. You know, I keep wanting to try Elden Ring, but at the same time I'm like, I got too much going on right now anyway. Don't need a new game. What is today? 22nd. Boop, boop. Alright. And as always, we must do a warm-up. Gotta do a warm-up sketch. There. Yeah, I was wondering how the weather was going to affect you guys, because I know it was hitting pretty hard. So, there you go. All right, let me adjust my light. There. Better. That's some old light. Oh, good lord. It was Mom and the dogs howling. Oh. Okay. Alright. I do believe it was Y26. What was the colors? Darn it. Alright, so we had, I know that one for sure. Alright. Just snorted a few times. Just huff, 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 huff. Alright, so his colors of the month challenge are going to be these colors. And let's do that. We're not going to be using it in this sketchbook because it's going to bleed through. I do kind of want to know what the sketch. I meant to do the sketch yesterday, but the class was very long yesterday. Oh, it's an interesting set of colors. All right. Stay there. Yeah, basically I'm gonna be able to like sketch for the next 5 minutes, and then I have to run to a meeting. I'm gonna see if I can like still do it here and just have the mic off. I think that would work out okay. All right. Let's choose from my many writing utensils that are within arm's reach. So many. All right. Such an interesting set of colors. So, if you're curious about today's particular topic, you can do !project in the chat, and that'll give you some relevant details. So, a company that sells markers on its website, they used to be the exclusive, well, not exclusive, but they used to be the only like importer of Copic markers for quite a few years, but that changed. And they put out a Colors of the Month challenge, where they give you like a limited set of colors, and then you get to draw something with it, with, you know, black and white being always available. Speedy Doodle! Yes. This month it is these colors here. And they provide it in like hex code, but they also provide it in like different Copic color codes as well. So this month we have Y26, YG00, and RB93. So I'm going to be able to come up with something with a limited color palette. Is a fun challenge, I think, because I have. Oh yeah, twist my camera here. See if that works. Does it work? It does. I have a crap load of Copics available to me, but just because you have everything doesn't mean you should use everything. So. I don't know what I'm drawing right now. It's mostly like a shake off the sleep. Oh my god. I set up my coffee pot and I didn't turn it on. I'll do that here when I get up. This reminds me of the goblins from Warcraft. Time is money, friends. Which is probably one of the truest statements that ever come out of that game. Time is money, friends. So did they ever explain the link between gnomes and goblins in that game? Because they both do the tinkering thing. Oh, absolutely. I believe I need more Copics. And Coptics. But that's not on the budget for a while, I hear. I was going to get a particular thing to add to the studio at this point. It would be a well, actually two things. One was a hydrogen soldering torch for my jewelry station. Because I don't have a torch set up for my jewelry, which kind of limits a lot of my options of things I want to do. So that's disappointing in a lot of ways. But it's not a cheap investment. It's a couple grand, easy. But if I get the hydrogen soldering torch, it means I don't have to store compressed gases in my apartment, which for some reason landlords have a problem with. So I'd like to be able to do that. And I also like to be able to get a particular tool that will allow me to do jewelry settings or stone settings on my workbench, and I don't have the right tools for that. Priority one is the soldering torch. And because I would like to be able to do some jewelry on stream. I mean, I could and just do cold soldered or cold connection stuff, but it's not as exciting. I'm seeing the fuego. Hey Google, stop alarm. Alright, I'm going to mute the camera, or mute the mic, turn on my mic, and turn on my coffee pot, for fuck's sake. And I'll be right back. a really good meeting. I'm always happy when the, you know, in big important meetings get good result. So, yeah, that was exciting. So this meeting was about, so one of the requirements for the minor is a, oh Lord, all sorts of discombobulated today. So one of the requirements for the minor is an internship. There we go. And this was a meeting to discuss the progress of the minor and what kind of electives I was going to be interested in and what kind of internship opportunities I was going to be looking for and with whom. So it was very productive. Apparently one of the groups they work with is STEAM New Mexico, which is Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math. For those that aren't familiar with the acronym. And again, that particular combination of skills is my wheelhouse. So learning about what opportunities are available in that area, I think, would be very nice. So yeah, exciting shit. But I do have a couple of courses that I need to do beforehand. So the requirements for the minor is financial management in the arts, and then nonprofits in the arts field. So lots of fun stuff. Okay, I think I know what I want to. I think I know what I want to draw now. For this particular color palette, it's going to be cool. All right. Put our little goblin lady away. Set that aside. Yeah. So the advisor was like, it's like, she said, oh, I asked her, like, okay, so what kind of groups do you work for? And it's like, we work with city government and county government, like the public arts stuff. We work with film companies and film organizations and, you know, local art leagues and STEAM New Mexico. I'm like, do go on. I want to know more. Click. All right. Let's do this again. So, because we are working with alcohol markers, one of the most important things that you need to be concerned with is bleed through. Because they provide a lot of ink in a very small area, you have a problem with the ink bleeding through the paper. That's just how alcohol markers work. So a couple years ago, I found out that there's a particular kind of paper, which is the crescent render paper, which is my absolute favorite paper for using with alcohol markers, which is what we'll be using today. This is like a sample sketchbook paper, but I use it for like testing my markers on, as you can tell. So, ta-da! What is this note? Let's see. Druid raised by foxes, flying okay, what the hell? Ow! Okay, this must have been a commission at a convention. I do, when I'm in the before times when there was conventions, I would do Copic marker commissions at my my table. All right. More coffee. All right. Where is my magic paper? Magic paper. No, not that. Nope, not that. Did I not have anything smaller? We don't. Alright. I don't think we've ever used this particular pad. I have like 3 of these. That's how I roll. What size is that? 7 by 14. Not for long. Oh, let's see. Ha! I still have smaller sheets? I don't. Boo! Okay. There. Bum 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 bum. Diddle 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 diddle. Alright. Since my desktop is not the smoothest for a variety of reasons, there is. Do I have a conveniently handy paper cutter? I do not. Look, I am making a concerted effort to use them. I just have a supply. A hoard, one might say. Alright. Got a little faithful here. No. Oh, if it only was as cute as a fairy dragon. It's not. Let's see, what do we want to do? Alright. Fart noises. Be like some old swamp dragon. It's just going, hovering over everything, going, precious, my precious. Because that's really me. Be the smog of art supplies. Alright. Bum, 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 bum. Alright. Keep saying alright. For some reason, well, not so for some reason. So these colors are like reminding me of like fall and mushrooms and kind of that muted fall landscape kind of thing. So we're going to roll with that. I'm going to draw some mushrooms. It's not something I see wild around here. It's just not moist enough. I'm a swamp dragon! And I hoard art supplies! So most of this front room in my apartment is art supplies. Yeah, I would say pretty much all of it, except for like the walkways. And even those are, you know, circumspect. But yeah, thank you again for everybody for being patient and staying here throughout that meeting. It was very, very much appreciated. Because planning for the future is important. One step closer to being a fully armed and operational art teacher. But one of the reasons I wanted to take specifically the arts leadership and business minor is because there's so many opportunities outside of, public school system. And there's things like doing workshops and local outreach programs, and it's a little opportunity to do good for the community in new, exciting ways. So. Not sure how much of this sketch you guys can see in the picture, but we'll be working on that. So can I move this thing down anymore? I cannot. I'm reminded I had plans to do like an articulated arm thing. I believe in the power of Mama Yaga and spite. I absolutely believe you can be a fantastic history teacher. So, I don't know how well you could do it in Texas, because Texas, sigh. But I think I still maintain that you would be a phenomenally good history teacher. So one of the things I was talking about with my friends the other day was this is the first time I've worked for a company where the goal of the company was not profit. And let me tell you, talk about an absolute mind change. Just absolutely mind blown. Because suddenly it's much easier to make decisions, weirdly enough. It's like, oh, we can put the customer as the priority. It's like, how are we best serving our clientele? I just wish more companies had that approach of, are we doing what's best for the customer? Rather than, how does this affect our bottom line? And it's like, how are we benefiting our shareholders? Yeah, no, you would think that more people would embrace that business model. I think far too often people hear nonprofit and think operating at a loss, or not making any money, or having subsistence wages, and it doesn't have to be like that. It's like, no, nonprofit means you're still making enough money to keep the business viable, but profit is not the goal. That's not what the mission statement is, as it were. And a lot of the artist business classes I've been taking has pretty much been, how do you want to articulate your goals for your business? And for me, it's like, I want to make people more comfortable with creating, the act of creation, with, learning how to fail when you create, and learning how to, embrace failure and learn from it and move on and all that fun stuff. So, yeah. And just learning to enjoy the process of creating, without necessarily having to get good at it, which is a horribly terrible approach to creating. If this isn't perfect, it's not worth doing. It's like, no, you don't get to be good at a particular art by being good right out the gate. It's the old saying of, like, the master has failed more than the student has ever tried. You just never see that part, And I'm making no claim to be a master. I think these streams are important to see, things happen and as it goes. Fuck it, we'll do it live! Alright. I've got enough of a sketchy do to actually get in here and do some inks. Kingdom for a good camera and lighting setup. This is not the best, but at least my camera is working. Yeah, if only other people in those games had that same mentality, it would make them far more enjoyable. I was actually just thinking this morning about when I used to play Smite more often than I did. And I have a god in Smite that I have rank in PvP in. It's Cupid, for the record. But too much of it is always about, always winning. And it's like, okay, yeah, but I'm not staking my whole personality on this. Also, so, many moons ago, I separated out my pens and my markers and whatnot by what is Copic safe versus what is not. Now these are my Copic specific, Copic branded pens in my Final Fantasy pencil pouch, because I had to have it. I'm sure you understand. It's like I wanted to play video games to relax, but I also don't want to get frustrated with, which is why I'm very hesitant on a lot of the Souls games, and like Elden Ring specifically. I would love, because the Souls game is like, Elden Ring is like my aesthetic, 100%. But I don't want to get frustrated with it. So yeah, I have opinions and thoughts. So I think I'm going to do my mushrooms in the background in the sepia tones, and then in the foreground in just black, just to highlight it better. But I'm not going to use these quite yet. Yes, I have an addiction. Shut up. It's a Final Fantasy pouch. How could I not? Also, there is a Cactuar plush, and I require it. I need it. I need it so much. Also, I've seen a 3D printed model for like a little Cactuar planter. I need that too. Okay. Make sure my pens still work. Yay! What size are we? We are 0.1. And what are we? Brush. Brush. 0.5. So, again, I'm going to talk about art classes a lot because it's been consuming me lately. Because my life is pretty much work and art right now. Social life, what? No. We don't have a social life. That's silly. I would also love... I already have the Moogle plush. I just need the Tonberry and the Cactuar at this point. I also wouldn't mind a Chocobo one, either. If we're just, speaking into the universe. A nice, like... the fat Chocobo, specifically. Fat Chocobo plush that's like one of those Squishmallow things. It would be perfect. Adulting! Hooray! that done. I'm drinking coffee out of my, let's see if I can get a shot without spilling it. Can I? Can I? No? We'll see. Maybe? Hey. I don't think you can see the side of it, but it's got Commander Shepard on it. Fem Shep. This is the coffee cup I had at Paizo for years. That was my coffee cup of choice. You know, sitting here thinking about it, I should probably do the foreground figure first. Right, wrong bag. As much as I want to do the background because mushrooms and it's pretty, I should do these ones first. Oh, so you'll notice the difference. I have two different kinds of Copic liners. So there's this one and this one. Functionally, they're the same. These ones are refillable. They also cost a hell of a lot more because they're refillable. So, just something to keep in mind. And I'm trying to use all my non-refillable ones first. I also have a couple of Zigs in here that I need to use up. I've had those Zig liners for eons, it feels like. Oh, they are still kicking. Slowly dying, but still kicking. Alright. Try to figure out why I have that one marked. We'll find out. Tune in next time. Alright. Yeah, I wish I had a better camera that could zoom in without losing quality. That would be pretty okay, I think. So I'm not sure how much of the detail you can see in here. Really, I just want a better streaming setup overall. I think I need to build like an articulated arm at work since I have the power. You know what this little fairy pal needs? It's a crop top. You gotta rock it. Rock them abs, buddy. Whoop. Also, if you're a patron, so you know, there's a blog post dropping today at 1 o'clock, which covers some of the Neolympus lore we've been talking about in my Discord server. Which is also a convenient way to say, hey, if you're interested in playing in a game that is run by me in said Neolympus setting, by all means, become a patron and you get access. You know, Nicodemus, I think I found somewhere the map of Daron that we did all those ages and ages ago. I think I found it not recently, but I know I've seen it. Yes, many moons ago. I'm absolutely going to use the whole Medusas collectively using their power as a weapon for their spaceships. Totally using that because it's a fucking cool idea. That's all I gotta say about that. To the point where this looks so ugly. They don't have any line weight in yet because these are, you know, they don't have any line weight to them. It's one width and one width only. But we'll be fixing that in a bit once I get to that point. Feet are pain in the ass to draw. No! Be safe with the weather if that's the reason why you're dropping out. It's supposed to rain and or snow today for us. So, that's exciting. Toes. So I am planning on doing a stream later this week as well, on Thursday. Thursday we're going to be working on some stock art for Rogue Genius that I want to get back to, because we do love some passive income. Do 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 do. This foot is fucked up, but I'm okay with it. Again, fuck it, we'll do it live. Every now and then I get to the urge of like, I just need to sit down and do some anatomy studies. That's just, it's an eternal mood. Alright. Does this hairstyle look good with my antennas? We'll make it work, buddy. God, woman, what is up with your anatomy today? It's atrocious. As opposed to being truly scrumptious. Which I can't believe they fucking snuck into a kids movie. And if you don't know what movie I'm talking about, it is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Which, again, not sure how they snuck that into a kids movie, but they did. Go back in the pool. Back in the pool! Let's see. 3, 5, 8. It's a very ancientness of movies. So, good luck finding it. That must have been why I had a tag on there. Alright, we have 5 and... Ooh, 5. Goodness. Let's go back and do some of this. So we remember I had a set of microns in a design class one time, and somebody had forgotten their markers or their pens, and they're like, "Can I borrow yours?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." They fucking destroyed my microns. Like, you don't need to push that hard on your microns. I promise you. You really don't. And I just absolutely just fucking killed them. I was so sad. I was like, oh. Womp womp. Just munched the tip. It was very sad making. I got them back and like, my soul has left my body. It's just they're terrible now. Today, our little Chillin' Faye is our non-binary friend for the day. Because crop tops, right? I'm not sure why I equate those two, but I did want to do somebody that is non-binary. And since the challenge does allow for black and white and these colors, we're gonna do some texturing. I love texture in pens. Do 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 do. I do 0.5 weight first. Get that out of the way. Whoop. Sometimes it just doesn't come together until you start adding some line variation. Just, this is already looking so much better. Including this jacked up fucking foot. Of course, it's probably just me that feels that way. You know, I was just thinking, the sizes on these, I have like 0.05 and 0.005. 0.005 of what? Millimeter? Inch? What exactly are these measured in? I would like to know more, please. Please. The hardest part about doing these kinds of drawing, of like any sort of like ink drawing for me, is like knowing when to stop with the inks, because it's easy to just keep going and going and going. Don't get me wrong, I do love me a good inked piece, but remember that somewhere along the line we are going to we are going to introduce color to this. So learning where those limits are. Do do do. Boo doo boo boo. Brr 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 brr. Gotta get that booty. I need to put some emphasis on this booty. Said so many artists over the centuries. This ass is not looking plump enough. Yeah, I do like a thick booty. Isn't he adorable? Or they. Not he. They might be he today. Alright. I require more minerals. And by minerals I mean coffee. Oh. I abused my foots. I'm walking around yesterday. And it's still very sore. Back into the corner, in the cart. Smudge, you have stolen my seat yet again. All this time and I forgot to change the rubber digger derber. Okay, I have refilled the caffeines. Very important. This is like, so like the charger doesn't want to stay in place, the cable. We've thought micro USB cables are good. They just don't stay connected. It's very annoying. So annoying. All right, what sizes we got here? We got a brush, 1, 3, 5. All right. I wonder what the weather's going to be like on the way to work, because it was very moist last night when I got out of class. It was raining. Moist. Such a fun word to say. Moist. I always love those little mini mushrooms that appear around a main stalk. Like a mini me. Look at me! I'm a mushroom too! Question you must always ask when drawing mushrooms is this phallus looking thing intentional or not? It's very, very important. You must make your wings intentional. Oop, oop. Add a bit of a do there. Maybe do some more everything. So, well, fine then. I'll draw on you later. Gosh, wait your turn. If you ever ask me what my favorite eraser is, it's this one. Which, you know, you can't tell what the brand is. This is the brand. Factus Extra Soft. Yes, I like it above even kneaded erasers. Doesn't destroy the paper. It's pretty clean. I've got a couple of noodles, but there. And this is an eraser specifically for, oh goodness, what did I erase with you? Are you a black kneaded eraser or just very dirty? I mean, both are equally possible. You were tucked away in my Copic bag, so another. Oh, I'll say, I just had you. Where the hell did you go? Studio's not that big. Can't go on me like that, man. I might be breaking the rules ever so slightly to use this particular color in my line work. I still think what's in the palette, as it were. Let's see, what's our 5.05. Do I really have 2.0? I do have 2.03. Jesus. That feeling when you have markers of the same size. I'm trying to figure out which one do I need to use first. if you are watching the stream and feel like making a comment, I could use some feedback on the quality of the image. That would be cool. So I'm trying. Yeah, and I just got my dingly darn stream setup fixed. Because boy howdy do Logitech cameras not like being plugged into a hub. Like a USB hub. Which again, incredibly annoying. And I just did not have the mental fortitude to deal with that recently. It's like, well, fuck you too. God damn it. The hard part about doing art on stream is how often your arm covers up the fucking painting or whatever piece you're working on. In the pool. In the pool. So I'm having to mark my duplicates to make sure I just use one until it runs out. I don't have two half-used things. I could just have one. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what colors I'm going to do these mushrooms in. Again, we have a limited palette, so thinking ahead, you see. actually one of the first months in a while that I've actually had all the colors for this particular marker challenge without having to buy anything. I've been keeping track of this particular challenge for several years now. So it's nice to come back to that. Because again, doing the limited color palette is a fun challenge, I think. Which we'll be doing another random color palette challenge here in a couple weeks. Is it next week? I think it's next week, actually. It's on the calendar. And I put it on the calendar so I wouldn't have to remember it. Just be like, oh right, that's what we're doing today. And save my brain the trouble of A, having to remember it, and B, coming up with something to do. It's amazing how, like, planning this shit out helps your brain. Who knew? Alright, planning shit out. Another new revelations. Brought to you by me and my brain. Boom, boom. Alright, draw some of our other mushrooms. Bigger, better, better. Alright. This guy. Boop. Boop. The problem with using the brush Copic multi-laners is you definitely got to give some drying time to them. I have a secret weapon for that, and I'll be showing it to you shortly. Honestly, this is the part that takes the longest. Not the coloring. That's pretty straightforward. It's the inking. Why haven't you finished this picture yet? Because I didn't want to do the inking. But I thought you liked inking. Shut up. I like inking more when that is the final step, I gotta say. Here. Oh, get some shape and definition in there. Yay! it within reach and better. Is it plugged in? I don't know. Alright, apologies in advance for the noise. Alright, I'll let that dry a little bit more. Oh, I need to tape it down, I think. So it'll help keep it in frame. Also keep that page from curling up. Here, a little bit more. Doo-doo-doo. There. Remember, you can only use 3 colors for this particular challenge. There are 3. Alright, so while that dries a little bit more, before I start mucking with it, I am going to take a quick break, top off my coffee, and pet my cat. So, talk amongst yourselves. Kitty has been petted. Clearly the most important part of the day. Alright. Don't know if I what color I want this our fairy's skin to be, so we'll come back to that later. Oh, Copics, I've missed you. I've been just doing forever, and I like it. I like it. Da, 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 da. Three little marker tests over here. It's like, are you dry yet? So, oh yeah, we're definitely not dry yet, and the cell right there. It's got to direct our strokes accordingly. So one of the reasons I like Copic markers is that you can treat them much like you treat watercolors. And I love me some watercolors, which is also something else I haven't done in a really long time. Because you work from light to dark, ideally. And it's in order to get those layers of blending. Yeah, we're not trying the sepia markers quite yet, which is fine. Certainly plenty of other areas to work on. Because much like watercolors, it goes on dark and dries lighter. And even though this paper is pretty bleed resistant, I mean, it's not going to bleed through on the other side of the page. On the surface of the page, it does do a little bit of bleeding. So you got to learn how to, like, where do you stop your brush stroke, or your, pen stroke. I say brush stroke because I'm using the brush tip. So you get it right where you want to and not over the line. Because in like these larger areas, it's going to be pretty easy to see the strokes if I'm not careful in how I construct them. It's not just slapping the marker on the page, turns out. I think one of the things that also appealed to me about this particular palette is it's not colors that I normally use together. So, I mean, that's part of the appeal, right? Is how do I use these colors together to create an interesting piece? And frankly, these colors remind me of like an old, like 70s curtain. That kind of weird mustardy color and this really light green and that pink, that red violet pink. So yeah, this color is mimosa yellow. I'm trying to think of a mimosa in that color. So, ooh. Most mimosas I have are pretty orange. What mimosa are you drinking, Copic? Yeesh.